We had provided a couple estimates to correct the courts. One to deal with bituminous pavement correction. The other one was to dig it out in total. It cost about $140,000 to dig it out in total and start over from scratch, and about $129,000 to do it with paving. So I just wanted to bring this to the board's attention, and I just got those today. I can get that out to the board, and then maybe next month, if you want to think about it, and we'll make a decision whether we just finish the line striping as is.
How can we finish it though when there's a huge crackdown though? I mean, there has to be another option that doesn't cost $140,000. Like, we've paved whole roads for $140,000. I mean, not long ones, but still, we've paved whole roads for $140,000. How could it possibly cost that much money on that to fix it?
Well, I think the cost is reflective of coming in and putting in material, bituminous material. There's a large quantity to doing the court. You have to take down the fences. You have to do, a number of other things.
It's my understanding that you're going to do that in-house, right?
Could we do it in-house?
I thought you had mentioned that you could do the fencing in-house, correct, or no?
No, they can't. We've never done fencing.
The only thing we can do is cover our terms, in-house.
I need to look, I didn't
Look
have a
at
chance
something.
to look at it.
Well, I thought the whole issue, though, was getting the court level to where it's within acceptable. But the two numbers that I presented were numbers that we presented to correct the court to a proper, as the proper slope to it.
But for $140,000, I would expect the court to sit like this, and it doesn't. I mean, there is a noticeable slant.
Right.
And that's why, maybe I need to look at the report because I haven't, and I apologize because Joe cites to
That's no
call.
problem. I just
I didn't get a
wanted
chance to call back, but I just can't understand how it's costing that much money.
$140,000 is reflective of what you would pay to put in new courts. I mean, you're going to take out the ones that you have, if you're going to do it for the full amount, which was excavated out. The other option was to go in and add bituminous material to it.
Right.
So that was the $129,000 option.
So
And that included.
there's an $11,000
But if you
difference
go
between
through the
bringing it out or just laying stuff on the top.
But I mean, if you go through the items, the bituminous material was about $32,000. I'm sorry, about $60,000 between the resurfacing and the addition of the binder material to bring it up to grade. And then the final wear, of course, there's about $60,000 just in bituminous material. There were new, the color coding was still included, which was about $11,000. There's taking down the net posts, milling the courts, under drain, and make repairs to the crack. That's about $5,000. So you could go in right now, leave the court as is, fix the crack, and then color code it, and be done. Walk away for the cost of the color coding and the repair.
Oh, you're right. Before we talk about this any further, I think I need to read your
I
report.
can speak with any confidence that if you were coming and recop that court, what you have there wouldn't leak through the new surface.
All right,
There's a
We
iron
talked about
oxide
right,
that appears, a stain.
right.
We're being given the possibility of having highlights in the asphalt leading up to the.
Like I said, it's my fault because I didn't get a chance to call Joe. But give us the opportunity to read through the reports and we'll revisit this.
Dan, I think Joe also proposed for curbing on the outside perimeter
That's
for something to hold to a grade,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah, we had a curve in there also. Okay, I think that's it.
Somebody's raising their hand.
Can I just ask a question? Who built these courts to begin with?
I'm not aware of that. Of course, we're built over time. Not by
Is there
any
warranty
means.
on them or anything? Or can you get back to those people and ask them why this is happening or something?
When did they get one?
I don't
But
know.
can you hear him in back?
I'm not coming up.
No. Can't hear you.
The question
In
was.
the early 80s anyway.
Yeah, did you hear him, Tom?
Yeah, in the early 80s, that park was put in, and it was built.
Because the courts weren't there then, but
Oh,
well,
yeah,
they were.
yep, the original part of it. We resurfaced them since. And we dug out some earth and put that earth back in, compacted it in, but it's just,
So the township resurfaced it.
No, we paid somebody to come in and do it. But it's an alluvial plain up there, and it's just probably not a stable place to have anything.
Is that's what it is, okay?
Yes, about 10 inches.
All right, thank you, Dan. Solicitor's report.
Sure, we've filed quite a few documents and briefs this month. In the Otis case, we prepared and filed briefs in the Court of Common Pleas. In the South Point matter, we prepared and filed findings of fact and conclusions of law. We received an appeal to the Commonwealth Court on the Tower Code 2013 LLC case. We started reviewing and preparing for a brief, and it will be an oral argument in Commonwealth Court for that case. We've met with the developer, as you heard earlier, on McConnell Farms, and prepared the deed of dedication and the easement agreement. There has been active litigation on the Monitor case. As it's active litigation, my practice is not really to comment on what's going on, but that is still moving forward, and dealing with day-to-day questions, issues, and concerns with the township manager and other members of the board.
Thank you. Any questions? Chief, you had a couple of things?
No, I don't have anything to report, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Bruce? I don't know, Bruce. We never argue with that. We are going to have a short executive session after the meeting's over. It's just about on a contract matter, and we'll be in the action taken on anything with that. I just want to ask something really quick one for the board. We've got a request from a senior citizen. They want to know if they can if we could get a sign for the senior center attached on the bottom of our sign right there. Who's keeping this up for us to see too? They said people would come in once in a while. They said they've been here for 15 years and they lived that way. They always go that way. They never knew there was a senior citizen center here to attend. So they're asking us if they can get a sign for one. And it's going to be $375 installed in the back that brushed aluminum on our sign.
Senior center per se, New Generations, which is utilized for the seniors during the day.
That's the senior center that the county uses with the area agency on aging.
I'm sorry.
They asked me, they said there were residents here that just didn't know they existed. So they happened to have come up this way. And I think they had some flowers up because they had a spaghetti dinner there. And people that got saw the flowers didn't even know they existed. So you know what our sign looks like without that. Joe Capola just wrote that, did a proposal that he would attach underneath our sign. So that it matched.
But wasn't that one of the issues that would be covered with the digital sign that we were investigating?
Yeah.
So
Well,
we could
what
show,
is a digital sign?
pardon me?
What's the prognosis on a digital sign?
I thought it was budgeted, we budgeted for one.
Correct.
But we didn't do anything about it.
Yet, but that doesn't mean we're not going to.
I have cost estimates I can forward to the board. We're waiting, of course, till cash flow is coming in with tax revenue. So we wouldn't have to disrupt any capital accounts. But I can provide those proposals to the board for a digital sign.
Did you see were they within the budget amount?
Certainly, yes. They were, actually, they came in less than $20,000.
Yeah, so to me, let's move forward with the digital sign instead of adding to a sign that we plan to take down.
Or we'll have it for next month and we'll get the pricing for the digital sign. Okay.
But then, Dawn, you are holding off on the additional digital sign for South Point, or something that may illustrate, just because this sign would be limited to only those using this road. And the thought was maybe to have a second one that could be adjusted from Teresa's computer or wherever.
I'll look and I'll research that as well.
But I'm just putting it out there on the board feels.
The problem with that would probably be one you'd have to secure property, a power source as well. And I don't know, I'm sure there was a way that you could control it without line of sight, so to speak, right? But I'll investigate that and let you know.
All right, thank you, Dawn. All right, you said there was no other items?
I have one question. Dawn, the home rule, we need to get information on home rule compared to First Class Township and Second Class Township.
You received the information And the difference is between first class, second class, right? Home rule is, and I will get more information, although home rule is what the board decides to make it. That's the difference in home rule, is that it's much more flexible. But I'll once again engage DCED and try to get information. I wasn't even satisfied with the information that I gave you. That was all that was out there. I mean, it was 1 or 2 pages, but I don't think it really gave the board enough information to make an informed decision. But I will research home rule and get that information to you.
I think that there are some people, before we go into executive session.
I had something to-
We're going to go to public comment next.
Oh, okay, good.
I had an issue, Mr. Chairman, on old business, 2 months ago in February, I brought up about us entering into a winter service maintenance agreement on Muse Bishop Road. Dawn was supposed to, I guess, get with Adam Smith of PennDOT. Can you give me any update, Dawn, on what's happening with this?
That update was forwarded to the board. Adam did respond to the board members, addressing the concerns that Bill brought up in his inspection. PennDOT said they would do everything they could to address all of those items on our checklist. And I don't think there's anything on the list that the township provided to the state that they will have difficulty in addressing.
Okay.
So that being said, the ball's in the board's court, whether or not they want to consider taking over winter maintenance on that roadway.
Yes, I think we need to act on it, and maybe even next month put on the agenda before we pass the deadline to file any paperwork for this. I believe it's June 30th. So we're going to have to act on it shortly. PennDOT did come out, I think it was 2 weeks ago, with their hydro blaster truck. They were cleaning out some inlets at Oak Brook, and they were scheduled to come up by your house next on.
Yeah, they jetted a lot of those. They identified some springs that are in the areas. They, of course, need to improve some drainage items. There were some under vertical and lateral support issues that they identified as well, where the roadway is given, particularly near the Wantor Trail. I think everyone that drives that road knows where that is. They're going to address that as well. They seem to be concerned that we were worried about them resurfacing. And they said, the resurfacing would be nice. We just want to address what we consider the major winter safety issues right now. And they'll have no problem addressing those issues. So I'll get with Rick Marker and permits, and I'll have a document ready for you to consider at your next meeting.
Frankie, are you expecting, along with that agreement, something from PennDOT that they will address those deficiencies that would make winter maintenance tricky?
I don't believe so. It's not a trust factor. I know one thing for a fact. There's a school there. School buses are going to go there. People leave Muse, drive through that town. Traffic's not going to stop if PennDOT doesn't respond. We still need that road solid and plowed. And I think it's our obligation to respond to our residents. And you have children running on school buses, through that town. I think we need to act on it. If not, it's low on their priority list, and it's just going to be a hazard driving that road in winter conditions.
All right, that answers my question.
I don't think, there's going to be liability placed on us.
I think, I'll make a comment real quick. I think the ball is in our court right now. Before we become signatory to that agreement, we have the ability to bring them to the table, because I would be my guess that they are very anxious to have us do winter maintenance on that road. With that being said, there are some drop-off areas, specifically catch basins, where the grade is corroded or is collapsed. And I think it's important to bring them to the table and address that. Like Supervisor Egizio said, they were out there with the jet water, they have cleaned cross drains out, stuff like that, so they're making an effort. But I would emphasize to them that, we don't want to sign on to this until they get these safety issues addressed.
That's why I requested a sit-down meeting 2 months ago. I knew this would eventually happen.
My concern though too is Muse Bishop isn't the only state road that's being poorly addressed in the winter. So while it does have a school on it, there's other state roads that school children ride on to get to Muse Bishop, or, because that's where they're all going to come next year for the new elementary school. So I'm not saying I'm opposed to it, but I'm just not sold that we take over solely Muse Bishop. Not that I'm saying
But we can't shortage the manpower of Cecil Township Public Works. We can never handle all the state roads.
Right, I agree. That's what I'm saying. So why not hold PennDOT accountable for the roads in our township versus taking the work off of them? I don't know. I need to look.
Well, I've lived there my whole life. You want to try it, you go ahead.